Hello, just looking very carefully at some code here for this program which I wrote 35 years ago. It's very simple. It was considered controversial at the time, I think, because it was written in small modules. It's only about 76 lines of code, including comments, and it's actually written in 5 modules. But I think I can illustrate perhaps why it was a good idea, even a good idea to write in 5 modules. It helps to highlight some little peculiarities. Looking at the subroutine SETIN, it says call TUNIT 5,0. The comment says that 5 equals the standard input unit. I'm not familiar with that command, TUNIT. It may be a standard Fortran command or not, but if it's not, it would have made sense that I isolated it there in a little routine. The SETIN routine is a little routine of about 14 lines. There's nothing at all controversial about the GETBLK routine, which consists of 16 lines. However, there's a little controversy in the GETBLK routine, which consists of 13 lines. This calls a subroutine I've never heard of. It says call BCDT R, and this appears to read as much as remains of the file into an array, and the start and end of the array is specified as parameters of this routine. But I've never heard of this routine, and it'll be very interesting for me to try and do a test over the next few days to see whether I would have got exactly the same result by using an ordinary format statement to read that file. It's questionable, though, whether I can actually do that test without having the actual hardware to work on. Nevertheless, certainly we can speculate by mocking up some data on disk and reading it. The other routine here has a slight peculiarity in it. This is 19 lines. There's just one little peculiarity in here. All the comments say that if the first character is H double space, if it's N double space, if it's S single space. However, there is a difference between the way N and S are treated. So, looking at the code, I notice that the N record, when it's printed out, it's formatted. The start of the format command is a space with the, that's for the H record. For the N record, start of the command is a 0. That has a definite obvious meaning when you're printing using Fortran, but because I haven't used it for a while, I can't remember what the difference is. It's such a common meaning that I didn't bother to document that in the file, but that would explain. Perhaps there's very little then to look at in the program, but it certainly doesn't make the program unreadable, the fact that I've broken it up into these little parts. Thank you. One reason I'm doing this test is to see whether I can store stuff in YouTube. In fact, I've been trying to store stuff for a long time using another log-on to YouTube, and it doesn't work. And I wondered if, because I've got so much material stored, that they've cut me back to only allow it to store for a few seconds. So I'm very interested to see if this thing will actually store for the full 4.5 minutes.